Talking to Cameron, other Cameron, asking about seeing other worlds, other planets or something in this universe, and will we see at least any of the big ones that kind of have been teased on, by the end of the season?
I mean, this season our focus is really on establishing the world of Krypton and the people that inhabit that. We look to expand beyond that, going forward. But there's so much dense mythology, and there's so many characters. It is an alien world. The society operates differently. It functions differently to ours on Earth. So I think and we only have 10 episodes, so it feels, and there's a lot of plot as well. So a lot of plot, a lot of mythology, a lot of characters. It just feels like the best way to tell the story in this first season is to just let that all fall into place first. Let people become familiar with the world, understand how it operates, understand the people who populates that world, and then we can start to expand out beyond it.
But if you guys have an idea, what do you want to do with something like Fango and so on? We
have ideas for Ran, for Thanagar. We will go to Earth in season 1, present day Earth. So that will be something to that's the only time I think we'll go outside of Krypton in this first season.
So will we see Superman in the show?
Not in this first season. No.
And then Daxam, is that going to still be part of your Krypton universe? Because the way that everything seems to be going, it seems like either Daxam was a long, long time ago or just didn't happen at all.
Yeah, I think it's something that if we haven't, that's not a part of the story that we're focusing in on at the moment. But it's a fun one, and it would again really deepen that mythology. It feels like it might just be
a little too
much. Especially when you're trying to introduce this world and the kind of, there's a lot of high concepts already for, it's cool for fans, they kind of, that are familiar, they'll get it, but we want to sort of have a broader appeal. We want to be able to reach everybody. So that's part of the balance of the show is, we want to reward the fans, the people that have been following Superman throughout his 80 years, and give them stuff that will really resonate with them, but we don't want to alienate the new viewers.
Because with the work that's been done on Supergirl, Rao isn't a completely foreign concept.
Right.
The Rao's religion's there, and seeing Kryptonian language that's held over from almost every version of Superman. So there's a lot that you can kind of borrow from, but then also the show really establishes what we haven't had before. So what's it like playing in a sandbox that gets to blow up?
Well, it's a great sandbox to play in. It's that blend of pure science fiction, as well as it's not really a superhero show in that sense. Even it might seem like it is, but it's not. It's not really. Once you get into it, it's much more just a science fiction show. It's not really a prequel either. I think with the time travel element that we have in there, it frees us up in a lot of ways. It means that really, from the moment Adam Strange arrives and sort of sets Seg on his hero's journey, the timeline's changed. So we're now not necessarily tied to a toy box that explodes. He warns Seg right at the start that if we fail, then he very clearly lays out what the stakes are, and the future, the ending of the story that we thought we knew will not be the ending that we're going to get.
Because there's a lot of Back to the Future allegory to it, with the disappearing sister, the photo, the disappearing cape. So, the time, you can't un-time travel.
See, it's that thing of, when we were in the early stages of this project, I think we were aware of the challenge of doing a traditional prequel where people feel like they know the ending. There's this kind of cloud of inevitability, and particularly when the ending of that story is the planet explodes, leaving one survivor. You don't want the audience to feel like, man, we're just treading water here and spinning our wheels until that thing happens. So I think with the time travel element of it, it means that that's not the end of the story, or it maybe it is, but most likely not. And the people that we're investing in, that become aware of the possibility of that happening, certainly don't want that to happen, and we're writing with them. So it puts the audience in a really unusual position where you're kind of like, I like these people and I like this world and I don't want it to blow up, but I also kind of want Superman as well, because he's
can't have it both ways.
Yeah. So it's a good dilemma.
I'm not gonna ask about quality because I know the Krypton is not tied to the movies or how the TV shows are. But does Krypton at least have an Earth number in the DC multiverse?
No, I mean we haven't really talked about that at all. I guess it would be Prime, right? That's the main.
The main one.
Yeah, it could be Prime. But we don't really talk about the multiverse in the show. We just stick. We don't really say one way or another, to be honest.
Will there be a mention about Supergirl, about his great-grandniece in the future?
We were talking about, actually, with the cast today, as we were sort of waiting to do the panel, we started talking about different things, and Supergirl came up, and I think part of it is with Adam, he's a dangerous. He's got information that could like that sort of knowledge of the future is potentially dangerous. As we sort of talked about with Back to the Future, there's a causality concern there where there's things that these people on Krypton shouldn't know, and if they know about it, maybe they will behave differently, and then time will unravel, and what we want to happen won't happen. So I think Adam's in a really difficult position where he's trying to be very careful about what information. He's trying to just stick to the bare essentials, so as to not create some weird butterfly effect or something.
By the way, you got two sons. Okay.
Two what?
Two sons, like Jor-El.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be too much information.
What inspired the addition of the love square, if you will? And she just mentioned two sons, and the little button presser only gave them one son, so I guess she's out.
Well, maybe, but maybe not. And that's it's a good question, and it does become one of the central. It drives a lot of story for us. The idea of the Genesis chamber and how life is created on Krypton, and what that means for reproductive rights, and what it means in terms of destiny versus willpower, and how much of your life on the planet, the world of the show, for a lot of people, their lives are, as we saw in the pilot with Paul Vex, everything's been predetermined. But that's not, maybe it's good not to carry a baby in the womb, but having your whole life predetermined doesn't sound so great. So maybe that's something that our characters may want to change, which is to say, the family relationships that we're expecting may not go that way.
Other Superman projects before have brought in legacy actors who played other Superman characters before and so on. Do you guys have any the wish list of actors you would like to come on the show, like Tom Welling, Kane, or other Superman related actors?
It's a good question. We haven't really looked at it that way, but there's certainly actors there that I would love to have on. But we haven't really planned for that.
Is there anyone you really want to bring on? He or she's number one. I
guess I'd love to bring on Terrence Stamp. That would probably be the character, the actor that I would most like to. So I just love Terrence Stamp, so I'd just like to just hang out with him. Yeah.
Adam's not traditionally a time traveler. What made you choose him over, say, Booster Gold or Tio Maro or any of the other DC chrononauts?
Well, I think Adam's relationship to the planet Ran, Thanagar, he's a bit of a gateway character to the sort of the cosmic fauna of the DC universe in a lot of ways. And again, once we spend this bit of time establishing the world of Krypton and we get to know everybody, that populates that world in this season. We do want to expand the series out, and Adam felt like an organic way to do that.
And then how was it the decision, let's say in world, where they're like, Adam, you've got to go save Superman's grandpa, because that sounds weird. Was it a well thought out plan on his end, or was it more, gotta go?
Yeah, I think that it's something we'll unpack as the season goes along. I think we'll discover that there's no such thing as a well thought out plan when it comes to Adam. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
love the guy, but he's not the brightest star in the universe.
Okay.
Thank you
so much.